Hi, good morning, everybody. So, today we will read about the next concept of our chapter New Kings and the Kingdoms. So, earlier in the first video, beta, we have discussed about the dynasties of the Rashtrakutas, Cholas, Palas, Chamnas, and the attacks of the Sultan Muhammad Ghori. And we have also discussed about the major attacks on the Somnath temple by Sultan Muhammad Ghazni and the battles of Prithviraj Chauhan and the great Sultan Muhammad Ghori. Okay, and we have also discussed about the Brahman society, that how the king offered them land, and we have also discussed about the emergence of the new dynasties, okay, and the administration policies in these dynasties. Okay, so now let's read about the main concepts. Okay, come. So now we will read about from Uraiyar to Thanjavur. How did the Cholas rise to power? A minor chiefly family known as the Muttirar held power in the Kaveri Delta. They were subordinate to the Palwa king of Kanchipuram, Vijayala, who belonged to the ancient chiefly family of the Cholas from Uraiyar, captured that delta from the Muttiar in the middle of the 9th century. He built the town of Thanjavur and a temple for goddess Nisamuddin there. The successor of Vijayala conquered neighboring regions and the kingdoms grew in size and power. The Pandyan and the Palwa territories to the south and the north were made part of the kingdom. So beta, this now we are discussing about a new territory, new kingdom, and that is from Uraiyar to Thanjavur. These two are the names of the places where the Chola dynasties lived. Okay, here the Chola dynasties were living from Uraiyar to Thanjavur. Okay, and all these dynasty was situated on the Kaveri river, okay, on the Kaveri river. So they were in the southern region of our country, and always they wanted to control the central part and the east and the northern part also. And they also built many temples, like for example they built a Thanjavur temple and for the goddess Nisamuddin, okay, एक देवी के लिए, निसामुद्दीनी देवी के लिए उन्होंने तंजावर में बहुत बड़ा टेंपल भी बनाया था. ओके, Rajaraj first considered the most powerful Chola ruler. So who was the most powerful Chola ruler? Rajaraj first, and he became king in 985 and expanded control over most of these areas. He also reorganized the administration of the empire. Rajaraj's sons Rajendra I continued his policies and even raided the Ganga Valley, Sri Lanka and countries of Southeast Asia, developing a navy for this expedition. So beta, as we all know that the Chola kingdom was in the south on the bank of Kaveri river. So Rajaraj was the first king of the Chola kingdom, and he became king in 985 and expanded control over most of these areas. Okay, but later on his son Rajendra I continued his expansion into the Ganga Valley, and Ganga Valley is in the north side, and the Sri Lanka and the countries of Southeast Asia also. Okay, और उन्होंने पश्चिमी ईस्ट साउथ ईस्ट एशिया की जो कंट्रीज थी उनके ऊपर भी उन्होंने आक्रमण करके उनको जीत लिया था. ओके, now splendid temples and bronze sculpture. The big temples of Thanjavur and Gaikonda Cholapuram built by Rajaraj and Rajendra are architecture and spiritual marvels. So बेटा, इन दोनों को भी, राजाराज फर्स्ट को भी एंड राजेंद्र फर्स्ट को भी टेम्पल्स का निर्माण करवाने का बहुत ज़्यादा शौक था और इन्होंने टेम्पल्स भी बनाया था. आई शैल शो यू आल्सो इन देयर ओन डायनेस्टी. Chola temples often became the nuclei of settlements which grew around them. These were centers of craft production. Temples were endowed with the land by the rulers as well as by the others. Okay, so now see, this is a temple that is being made by the Chola dynasty. Okay, now let's read the temple of Gangi Konda Cholapuram. Notice the way in which the roof tapers. See, it is in a triangular shape, like one line is going here, one is here and one is here, so it is in a triangular shape. Okay, so such kind of temples were being constructed by the Chola kings. Okay, went into maintaining all the specialists who worked at the temples and very often lived near it. The priest, garland makers, cooks, sweepers, musician, dancer, etc. In other words, temples were not only place of worship, but they were hub of economic, social, and cultural life also. So, beta, at that period of time, temples were treated as a place where the great peoples like garland makers, the priest means pujari, कुक्स जो खाना बनाते थे, स्वीपर्स जो साफ सफाई करते थे, म्यूजिशियंस जो संगीतकार थे, डांसर जो नृत्य करते थे, वो सब वहाँ पे एक साथ इकट्ठा होते थे और अपने अपने जीवन को वहाँ पे प्रदर्शित करते थे. ओके, लाइक द म्यूजिशियन परफॉर्म्ड म्यूजिक क्लासेस, cooks performed the cooking, and the sweepers cleans the temple area, and the dancer performed the dance. Okay, now it was not only a place of worship. यह सिर्फ भगवान की पूजा करने के लिए नहीं, बल्कि और भी सोसाइटीज़ के लिए, और भी लोगों के लिए ये बहुत ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण था. ठीक है. So among us, the craft associated with temples, the making of bronze image was the most distinctive. Chola bronze images are considered among us the finest in the world. While most images were of deities, sometimes images were made up of devotees as well. Now you can see I am showing you an image. It is a stone or a bronze image that is being made by the Chola dynasty kingdoms or kings फॉर देयर डिवोटी. उनकी भगवान के लिए या किसी देवी के लिए वो ऐसी मूर्तियां बनाते थे और पूरे संसार में इनकी बहुत ज़्यादा प्रशंसा की जाती थी और ये बहुत ज़्यादा फेमस भी होते थे बेटा. ठीक है, बिकॉज एट दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ये इतनी अच्छे से कलाकारी करना, चित्रकारी करना सबको नहीं आता था. ओके, सो ऑल दीज वर ग्रेटली admired and inspired by other people also. Now we will read about the agriculture and the irrigation system in these kingdoms. Okay, now many of the achievements of the Cholas were made possible through the new developments in agriculture. Look at map 2 again. Notice that the river Kaveri branches off into several small channels before emptying into the Bay of Bengal. These channels overflow frequently, depositing fertile soil on the river banks. Water from the channels also provide the necessary moisture for agriculture, particularly the cultivation of rice. Okay, now as we all know that the Chola dynasty was situated on the bank of river Kaveri, and it has many small tributaries and many small channels that were flowing into the kingdom. So the land was really good and the soil was very fertile to grow the crop wheat and rice. Okay, and the availability of a good quality of water from Kaveri river was also available. So wheat and rice was really in good amount and of good quality. Okay, now although the agriculture had developed earlier in the other parts of Tamil Nadu, it was only from the 5th or 6th century that this area was opened up for large scale cultivation. Forests had to be cleared in some regions, land had to be leveled in other areas. In delta region, embankments had to be built to prevent flooding, and canals had to be constructed to carry water to the fields. So और बाकी के सभी एरियाज में इन दी अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ तमिलनाडु आल्सो इन द 5th और 6th सेंचुरी में जो ज़मीन थी बेटा वो फॉरेस्ट को क्लीन अप करके, फॉरेस्ट को साफ करके बनाई गई खेतों के लिए. वहाँ पे खेतों का निर्माण किया गया और एग्रीकल्चर शुरू किया गया. बिकॉज एट दैट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम एग्रीकल्चर शुरू करना बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी था, क्योंकि लोगों की खाने पीने की ज़रूरत थी वो एग्रीकल्चर ही पूरा कर सकता था. ओके, और उस समय पे वी ऑल नो डैट द रिवर्स वर फ्लोइंग ऑन अ वेरी हाई लेवल. सो जस्ट टू प्रिवेंट द फ्लड एरिया, many great channels were also constructed to divide the water and to bring out the level of a main river down. जैसे कि नदी का पानी धीरे धीरे छोटी छोटी नदियों में बहने लग जाता था, छोटे छोटे नालों में जो हमारे यहाँ पे नदियाँ होती हैं ऐसी नदियों में बहने लग जाता है, तो जो नदी का पानी था वो कम हो जाता था. ओके, see at that period of time these kinds of rivers were flowing in the Chola dynasty. Okay, in many areas 2 crops were grown in a year, और एक साल में 2 crops उगाई जाती थी, one is wheat and one is rice. Okay, now in many cases it was necessary to water crops artificially. A variety of methods were used for irrigation. In some areas wells were dug, and in other places huge tanks were constructed to collect rainwater. Remember that irrigation works require planning, organizing labor and resources, maintaining these works, and deciding on how water is to be shared. Most of the new rulers as well as people living in village took an active interest in these activities. Okay, सो नाउ बेटा सिर्फ नदियों से ही वहाँ पे एग्रीकल्चर में की सिंचाई नहीं की जाती थी, बट विद द हेल्प ऑफ वेल्स, with the help of rain water harvesting system, and with the help of other system also the irrigation was done. Okay, and we all know that the irrigation process requires many essential tools, labor class, and many kind of resources for their maintenance. Okay, लाइक डैट छोटी छोटी नदियों के निर्माण के लिए लोगों की भी आवश्यकता होती है, ज़मीन की भी, और उसमें समय भी लगता है. ओके, लाइक कुआं खोदने में बहुत ज़्यादा समय भी लगता है, और बहुत उसमें तो कुछ मतलब ज़्यादा अगर काम करेंगे तो जल्दी से हो जाएगा, अगर कम करेंगे तो ज़्यादा वक्त लगेगा. सो इट रिक्वायर्स लेबर एंड द अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ रिसोर्सेज आल्सो. Okay, now this is now we will take a small recap that the agriculture was done of wheat and rice, and the irrigation was done with the help of wells, with the help of rainwater harvesting system, and with the help of the main rivers. So we will read about the administration of the empire. How was the administration organized? Settlements of peasants known as become prosperous with the spread of irrigation agriculture. Groups of such villages formed larger units called Nadu. The village council and the Nadu performed several administrative functions, including the dispensing justice and collecting taxes. Okay, now अब बात करते हैं कि बेटा हमने एग्रीकल्चर की बात कर ली, so we will talk about the administration process of the empire. Okay, like the settlements of peasants, किसानों के, so they were called as the उर, उनको क्या कहते थे बेटा, उर कहते थे. ओके, एंड बिकम प्रोस्परस, और वो इतने ज़्यादा प्रोस्परस, उनको इतने ज़्यादा मान सम्मान मिलने लगा था बिकॉज दे वर इन्वॉल्व इन दी एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटीज़. ओके, और जो उनके गांव थे, बड़े बड़े गांव को क्या कहा जाता था, क्या कहा जाता था, नडू कहा जाता था. ओके, क्या कहा जाता था, नडू. द विलेज काउंसिल एंड द नडू परफॉर्म्ड सेवरल एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव फंक्शंस इंक्लूडिंग डिस्पेंसिंग जस्टिस एंड कलेक्टिंग टैक्सेस. और वो न्याय का भी काम करते थे कि कभी कभी किसानों में कोई भाई किसी बात के ऊपर डिस्प्यूट हो गया, उस बात को सोल्व करने के लिए वो एक न्यायपालिका का भी काम करते थे और उनसे टैक्स भी कलेक्ट करते थे. Now rich peasants of the Velala caste exercised considerable control over the affairs of the Nadu under the supervision of the central Chola government. The Chola kings gave some rich landowners titles like villain or peasant, serving 3 kings, arrear chief, etc. as markers of respect, and entrusted them with important offices of the state at the center. Okay. सो नाउ वट इज इट इज़ कॉल्ड बेटा. नाउ जो वहाँ पे गांव में बड़े अमीर ज़मींदार होते थे वो क्या करते थे, वो जो अफेयर्स थे, जो उनके संबंध थे नडू के साथ, गांव के लोगों के साथ, उनको चोला गवर्नमेंट के साथ सुपरवाइज करते थे कि भाई मतलब कहीं पे कोई डिस्प्यूट तो नहीं है, किसी में कोई विद्रोह की भावना तो नहीं है, सब अच्छे से काम कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं. ओके, दी चोला किंग्स गेव सम रिच लैंड ओनर्स टाइटल्स, और चोला डायनेस्टी ने जो अमीर किसान थे, जिनके पास ज़्यादा पैसा और ज़मीन थी, उनको कुछ टाइटल भी दे दिए गए. वन टाइटल इज मूव वेन डलम. ओके, अ वेलन और पीजेंट सर्विंग 3 किंग्स, एक ऐसा किसान जो 3 राजाओं को भोगता है. ओके, जो 3 राजाओं को खाना खिलाता है. ओके, एंड एज इट वाज द सिंबल ऑफ रिस्पेक्ट, लव एंड केयर टुवर्ड्स द किंग. ओके, और ये सब जो टाइटल्स थे वो उनको इसलिए दिए जाते थे क्योंकि उनकी श्रद्धा, निष्ठा और प्रेम भाव राजा के लिए दिल से था. ओके, now we have seen that Brahmins often received lands, grants, or the Brahmdya, As a result, a large number of Brahmin settlements emerged in the Kaveri valleys in other parts of the South India. As I told you, beta, the kings offered and grants land to the Brahmins who really did a great work for the kingdom and do something good for the king. So in reward, the king award them with a piece of land and they settled in the Kaveri Valley in the Chola डायनेस्टी ओके एंड वहाँ पे रह के वो उसी ज़मीन पे खेती करने लग गए थे सो each Brahman was looked after by an assembly or sabha of prominent Brahmins landholders. These assemblies worked very efficiently. Their decisions were recorded in detail in inscriptions, often on the stone walls of temples. Associations of traders known as nagramas also occasionally performed administrative functions in towns. Okay. और इनकी समय समय पे सभाएं भी आयोजित की जाती थी उन सभाओं में इन सब की समस्याएं सुनी जाती थी और फिर उन समस्याओं को सोल्व भी किया जाता था और फिर आने वाले समय के लिए डिसीजंस भी लिए जाते थे और वो डिसीजंस कहाँ पे रिकॉर्ड किए जाते थे इंस्क्रिप्शंस पे इंस्क्रिप्शंस क्या होते हैं बेटा दी decisions or the text that is being written on a hard surface किसी hard surface पे like stone marble pillars etc okay and association of traders known as the nagarams okay जो व्यापारियों के समूह को क्या कहते थे नगरम्स okay also occasionally performed administrative functions in town ये भी शहरों में अपनी सभाएं आयोजित करते थे okay और इनका भी वही काम था Now, inscriptions from Uttamar in Changelpuri district, Tamil Nadu provide details of the way in which the Sabha was organized. ये एक ऐसा इंस्क्रिप्शंस है तमिलनाडु से जो मिला है जो ये साबित करता है बेटा कि उस समय पे सभाएं कैसे आयोजित की जाती थी दी सभा हैज़ अ सेपरेट कमेटी टू लुक आफ्टर इरिगेशन वर्क्स एक सभा ऐसी थी जो सिंचाई के काम को देखती थी गार्डन्स टेम्पल एक्सेट्रा एक सभा ऐसी थी जो मंदिरों के निर्माण को उसके कार्य को देखती थी वहाँ के आसपास के पार्क्स और गार्डन्स को देखती थी नेम ऑफ दिस एलिजिबल टू बी मेंबर ऑफ दिस कमेटी वर रिटन ऑन स्मॉल टिकट्स ऑफ पाम लीफ और इन सभी सभाओं के सदस्यों के नाम पाम लीफ पे लिखे जाते हैं ये होते हैं मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट्स क्या होते हैं ये मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट्स दी स्क्रिप्ट्स विच आर रिटन बाय ऑन hand. These tickets were put into an earthenware pot from which a young boy was asked to take out the ticket one by one for each committee और इन सब सदस्यों के नाम लिख के एक घड़े में डाल दिए जाते थे फिर एक लड़के को बुलाया जाता था वो उसमें से एक एक करके उन चिट्ठियों को निकालता था और जिसका नाम आता था वो उस सभा का सदस्य बन जाता था ओके सो नाउ बेटा लेट्स टेक अ स्मॉल रिकैप ऑफ आवर चैप्टर वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द Chola dynasty that is situated in the southern part on the bank of Kaveri river. We have studied about the irrigation and the agriculture policies of the Chola dynasty and we have also discussed about the Brahman society and we have also discussed about the Muhammad Gori and Sultan Muhammad Ghazni who attacked the Somnath temple and the three territories like Gurjar Pratiharas, the Pala dynasties and the Rashtrakutas who were trying to capture the city of Kannauj that is situated on the Ganga valley. Okay, so this is all about your chapter. I hope you have really liked this video and get understood with the chapter now. And now if I ask you what is the meaning of Sultan, the meaning of Sultan is it is an Arabic word meaning ruler. Okay, good. Okay, and who was the famous ruler of the Chauhans? The famous ruler of the Chauhan was the Prithviraj Chauhan and he defeated Sultan Muhammad Gori in 1191 and in the next year he was killed in the battle in 1192 by Muhammad Gori. Okay, so now this is all about your chapter and in the next video we will do the question answers. Okay, so let me ask you one question also that why the kings grant the land to the Brahmins and on what type of thing the decision was being made. The king offered the land to Brahmins because they were really doing a great job for the administration of the worship temples and for the worship or the for the king, and in reward they get the land, and the decision of the king was being written down on a bronze or copper plates, okay, so that and they can be preserved. So thank you.